Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Blitz. It is round one of the playoffs for the North Carolina, South Carolina, and the private schools. I'm Jeff Taylor, alongside Kelli Bartik. And Kelli, some historic games being played tonight, both here in North Carolina, South Carolina, and private schools.
Yeah, that's right. For the first time, we have 8 classifications in the playoffs, which opened the door for more schools, some byes, and some great matchups.
All right, so let's get started. We begin with playoff action from the private schools in our area, and we are going to start with Charlotte Latin hosting Cannon. Now, the Hawks would get some offense going early with runs like this coming up from DJ Douglas. That is a powerful run right there, and that is a big boy. Let me tell you what, that drive, however, would stall, and that gives the ball back to Cannon. They would get their offense going. Marcus Sales, watch the nice catch across the middle, setting up Cannon in prime scoring position. A few plays later, QB Lucas Lopez says, why not? Let's go back to Sales, and this time it ends up as a Cannon touchdown. The extra point was good. It was 7-0 in favor of Cannon. So let's get back to Charlotte Latin and see how their offense could make out. The Hawks is going to get it going. The big gain here, Durham Teddy is going to out-jump the Cannon defender, and then he's going to drag a few players with him, and he gets inside the 5. A few plays later, they give it to the big man. Once again, DJ Douglas, he's going to get the score for Charlotte Latin. However, in this one, it goes to the visitors. Cannon wins this one 40-21, and up next for them, they move on to face, guess who? The number 1 seed, Providence Day. They won big tonight, 45-8 over North Raleigh.
All right, on we go. Charlotte Christian playing host to Charlotte Country Day. Picked this one up late in the first half, and Country Day is down 20-0. John Janetta gets the Bucks moving on the ground, but a few plays later, Achilles Morales look like Patrick Mahomes.
He does, got the same number too, 15.
Okay, but hey, he ended up getting the sack.
Yeah.
That's how the first half would end. In the second half, Charlotte Christian comes out on rolls along on offense. Freshman Sawyer Gorman with the tough run and the big hit at the end has the Knights in scoring position. A few plays later, Vincent Rosen comes down with the touchdown catch for Charlotte Christian. The Knights roll onto the second round with a 36-0 shutout over Country Day.
And now they'll move on, and they're going to face Raven Gap all over Christ School. That was last night, 64-7. Kind of looks like Raven Gap and Providence Day could end up meeting once again. All right, let's take a look at some of the scores from around our area tonight, and we're going to begin. Palisades 35-32 over South Meck. They go on to now face the number 1 seed Huff. Chambers Pinecrest 32-21. Good for Chambers and Captain Mutterman. What a great one. Actually, Chambers will now play Myers Park. Here we go.
Oh, how about that?
I know. Davie County 19-0 over West Meck. They will play the 8 seed. That is Jack Britt. Butler Hopewell. Go get him, Coach Hales. 42-28 right there. The winner now plays number 4, Mooresville. We got more scores for you. Porter Ridge, 26-16 over Cuddy. Now they'll play number 6 seed, Richmond Senior. And then Marvin Ridge, they get the big win over Chapel Hill, 52-13. And they will go on to play the number 2 seed, Weddington. We got more for you. Olympic, good for them. The shutout, 28-0. They were 12 seed, beating Ragsdale. They now play Sun Valley. That'll be a good matchup. And then Statesville, all over Alexander, 28-3. Statesville now will go on to play Ashbrook, and Ashbrook's been tough, Kelly, all season long, so we'll see what happens there. All right, stick around. We have more of the Blitz coming up and more of the first round playoff highlights,
including our WCCB Game of the Week between.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Blitz. Our WCCB Game of the Week featured the neighborhood rivalry between Providence and Audrey Kell.
These two teams met last week with Providence getting the win and the conference title. Ford Martin and Armand Brody were on the call, and join us now with the recap.
And welcome back here to our WCCB Game of the Week from Panther Field. Audrey Kell drops today's match to Providence, where they will move on to number 2 West Charlotte. Armand Brody, Ford Martin here with you. Armand, what a match. What a game. Toward the very end, they capitalized at the very end. And Providence, after a couple of they saw the punts at the very end, low snap, took advantage of it. And special teams really played a big difference maker on giving Providence the win today.
Special teams played a huge part. And when special teams wasn't playing a huge part, Keelan Shelton took over. Let's recap this game a bit. You got the score from Rodriguez in the first quarter to make it 7-0 Audrey Kell. That was an 8-yard touchdown. And then we went a while without points. Right here is Vines, Caleb Vines taking that one into the end zone after some missed opportunities by Audrey Kell. We really saw a lot of that on both sides throughout the night. And here is the one that ended up being the game winner, the touchdown pass to number 9, the tight end, Alex Haywood. That's all the scoring we had. Plenty of turnovers, miscues, special teams mistakes. It was beautiful. It was ugly. It was brilliant. It was everything we could ask for. And Providence gets a great win, 14-7. They head on to play West Charlotte next week.
14-7 your score for my partner Armand Brody. I'm Ford Martin saying good night from Panther Field. This has been a WCCB Charlotte Game of the Week presentation.
All right, great game of the week tonight. Round 1 playoff action between South Iredell and A.L. Brown. This one was exciting from the jump. The opening kickoff. Check out this nice return for the Wonders. Faison Manning takes it all the way back inside the 15.
Good way to start.
They would capitalize. Yes, sir. The big return sets up the first scoring play of the game. A.J. Settles, the QB keeper, barely touched as he gets in for 6. It's a 7-0 game early in Kannapolis. Next series, A.L. Brown does it again. The high snap, no problem. The handoff, a big problem for the Vikings. Ryan Fowler showing off his speed all the way to the house for another Wonders touchdown to make it a 14-0 ball game. The Vikings would get back in it before the break with less than a minute to go in the half. A 10-yard touchdown pass to Evan Prater cut the lead in half. Wonders led 14-7 at the break and would go on for the win. Final score, A.L. Brown 34, South Iredell 27. The Wonders advance to play at number 5, Regan, in the second round.
All right, final stop of the night, Concord playing host to Forest View. The Spiders down 8-0 early. They get on the board. Colin Black is going to find Antonio Brown. That is good. Yeah, Antonio Brown. That's good for 28-yard TD to tie things up at 8. Forest View comes roaring back. Achilles Littlejohn. No problem with Achilles here. 58-yard scamper. Forest View led this one 15-8 at the half. Second half, we go, and Forest View extends their lead to 22-8 with this 15-yard pass from Cooper Phillips to Marcus Rhodes. And you might think this one's over, right? But Concord comes back. The Spiders, late in the fourth, get the go-ahead TD on this 17-yard run from Andrew David Jr. to go up 29-22. Forest View would score late, but a taunting call would put them back 15 yards for the conversion, which fails. Concord gets the win 29-28 to move on. They will now play Crest in round 2. All right, let's take a real quick look at some of the scores from tonight as we get ready to wrap this up. Hunter Huss gets the loss. Irwin 49-21. Montgomery all over Jesse Carson. On we go. Lake Norman Charter loses to Fred T. Ford 21-13. Bandy's all over South Rowan. Big score there. And of course, we'll have all round 2 for you coming up next week. But of course, coming up next, The Edge. Stick around. We will see you next Friday night. Kelli Bartik, thank you.
You're welcome. Had fun.
See you next Friday.
Good night.